Good morning, everyone. If you're new here, welcome to my channel and All Seasons Homestead. I'm Joanna. Today's video is going to be a bunch of clips throughout the week that I've been working on, and I just wanted to show you guys. So join me and come along and I will show you what I've been doing this week. I have really been enjoying flowers this spring. This has been a very cool spring for Missouri, and I've noticed all the way to town, everyone's yards are full of flowers and peonies. And with all these beautiful flowers comes a lot of pollen. So this is usually the time of year that I get the pressure washer out and I wash all of the siding down and the deck and our patio area. And I thought I was actually going to get to put a new coat of stain and start painting the white rails, but I have not got to it. So I just really focused on getting all of that yellow pollen off. And we have been picking strawberries every other day, snacks every single day, and buckets and baskets every other day. I have been making a lot of jam as well as freezing gallons of fresh strawberries, and you will see a little bit of that later on. And also this time of year is a lot of beehive inspections. This little orange and yellow box right here, this is my new bee colony. And so right here, I'm going to take them out and transfer them into their new home. It just comes in a 5-frame box, and I will transfer them to a 10-frame box and get them all settled in. So I did catch one swarm this spring, and I've had a couple of scares. I thought they were going to swarm on me again, but I think I stopped it, and they seem like they've settled down and they're happier. You just never know what to expect. There's always something to listen for and look for each day. It's constantly changing. I've been so busy outside, obviously, with bees and garden work, but I still go thrifting on Fridays, and I found this little picture and I love it. I love the frame. I don't think I did it justice. I did not show you guys close enough so you could see the pretty detail on the frame, but it was a very damaged print and I tried to rescue it, but what I'm going to do is take out the print, and the glass is broke and you can't even see through it. It's so dirty. So I removed the glass as carefully as possible, and then I'm going to scrub the frame with quite a bit of dish soap and get it really clean. And I think I even removed that little string hanger on the back because it was just disintegrating as well. It was really no use for it. I do like the print. Like I said, it's kind of damaged, but I do like that very worn old look. But I am going to look for a new print to put in this frame. So after I give it a good scrub and a good rinse, I'm going to take it outside and just lay it in the sun. I let it dry all day long in the sun because I'm going to put a restore and finish on the frame, and I don't want any water stopping the oil from penetrating the frame. And all I did was give it a nice wipe down, and it really looks pretty to me now. I'm really happy with the frame. The print, like I said, I'm not too happy with it. I'm going to use a piece of lace to cover up the damage areas, but it's not really the damage that's bothering me. It's just the print itself. I love the colors, but it kind of looks flat, if that makes sense. I want something with a little bit more detail and dimension to it. So for now, I'm happy with this. I think it's cute. So this spot above my sink, I changed this area out. I try to put some fall decor or little spring touches right here. My whole kitchen, I really don't move stuff around or decorate. I will just add things once in a while if I really like it. But this is the one spot that I like to change up. I think it's cute and vintage, and it brings some spring but also some warmth into my kitchen, and I'm really enjoying it. You guys can let me know down below if you think it looks junky or if you think I should keep it or continue to look for a new print. But for now, I'm satisfied with it, and I'm enjoying my fresh cut flowers, my peonies that I added to my Mother's Day flowers. One thing that I slow down on in the spring and summer is making bread. Right here, I'm going to make 3 loaves of just basic white bread. And this is something I do all through the winter, 1 to 2 times a week, at least this kind of bread anyway. But in spring, there's so much to do outside, so much to plant and get ready that I kind of slow down on the bread. So we ran out of bread and I wanted to get a few more loaves going, and this was a rainy day, so I thought it was perfect to get ahead on some baking in the kitchen. I think for our family, it seems like in the spring and summer, we mainly have quick breads like tortillas and biscuits, things that I kind of need more time on, like breads that rise. I tend to do more on rainy days or in the fall and winter. I was really enjoying this particular day. It was just a beautiful, normal spring rain. It was just very refreshing, and the birds were singing. The kids were busy doing other things, so I actually had some quiet time just listening to the birds. I don't know if you can tell from this scene right here, but I have my sink light on, and it's just very dark and I think soothing, very calming day. I also made some angel food cake. You can probably see it right there in the glass cake container. Since we've been getting so many strawberries, I made some angel food cake so everyone can have strawberries and whipped cream. I believe next week's video is going to be a thrift haul, and in that thrift haul I have a glass cake pan, or what do you even call those? A glass cake container. I just can't think of the correct word that those are called right now, but it's on a pedestal and it has a lot of beautiful detail. I can't wait to show you. So while my bread rises, it takes about an hour and a half for this recipe to rise. I'm going to get started on all of the beautiful strawberries that we picked so I can prepare them for jam. My jam recipe is really simple. It's nothing that's going to blow your mind or anything, but I usually do about 6 cups of strawberry to 8 cups of sugar, and then I'll put maybe a little bit more than a tablespoon of vanilla extract and the juice of a lemon. And it does take longer to make this recipe because I usually make it without store-bought pectin. Sometimes I will add an apple to my jams that I'm not using pectin either. So it's just a lot more cooking time, but I will just bring that up to a boil until it gets really thick. And sometimes that can take anywhere from 20 minutes to like an hour and a half. So it is a little time consuming and you have to have some patience, but this way I save the money on the store-bought pectin, and also I know what's in my jam. I removed all of the green stems, the green leaves, and next I'm just going to rinse it and then somewhat measure out my strawberries and turn on the heat and start cooking and mashing them down. And I add my homemade vanilla extract and the juice of a lemon, and then I'll start adding the sugar. Our family favorite jams are strawberry vanilla, blackberry vanilla, and peach vanilla. I think I've said before that I do make some jellies. We're not really a jelly type people, but we are starting to like it more. Not as much as jam and preserves, but I make dandelion jelly, redbud jelly. I think that we could make jelly pretty much out of anything. But another thing that I make also is we have wild plum trees, so I will make some plum jelly as well. It would be nice to make a big pot of jam all at one time, but it's harder to control, at least I think, the mashing and getting to the gel point. So next time I have a lot of strawberries, I'm thinking about putting a couple of pots on the stove and in small amounts, but then just get more done in one day. Because once your jelly is ready, you just add them to your little jelly jars, your half pints, and then it only takes 10 minutes processing time. I would say a good part of my morning was just mashing and stirring and waiting. But here they are, finally ready to start processing. And to me, this is the most satisfying part of canning, is taking my jars out when they were all done. I think for me, anyways, the two satisfying things are picking your vegetables or fruits and then pulling them out of the canner. Obviously, eating should be number one, but between picking and preserving, all of that middle part, all of that cooking and preparing, that's just a lot of work. So to me, this is the most satisfying, rewarding part. Another rewarding part of this also is when your family or your kids are really excited about something and they're proud of your work and the flavor, but kids are extremely honest and they will definitely tell me when it's not their favorite recipe. So when I find a recipe that we all like, which is usually the original old way, I tend to keep that when everyone's happy and just stick with it for a long time. So right here, I pulled out my jar of water glassed eggs. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with water glassed eggs, but it is a solution of lime and water, and you can preserve your eggs, your just raw whole eggs, up to 2 years, but I usually pull them out about a year. Just to be on the safe side. And plus I start getting a lot of fresh eggs and I don't need them anymore. So if I have any leftover eggs through the winter, I will just get them out and use them for treats for my dogs mainly. And then I crush up the egg shells and use them for calcium treats for my chickens or spread around in the garden. So that's what I'm doing right here, is just sorting out a few eggs at a time. And since we're getting so many eggs, I need to make a new solution and get another gallon going. And then that gallon will be more than likely when my chickens go through their, their time of rest in the summer. And then they pick back up in the fall, and then I'll use those through the winter. And here's my bread. I just got it out. So now I will have a little jam and bread for the kids later on in the day. After the bread is done and I'm done canning the jam, I just tidied up the kitchen and put things away, tried to get things out of my way because the next thing I'm going to do is blanch and freeze some more broccoli. And if any of you saw my last video, was all about harvesting and blanching and freezing broccoli. Well, I'm still going because I have different varieties. So it's a few more days of harvesting broccoli and preparing them for the freezer. I've also been harvesting our cabbages as well. I still have a couple of rows of later varieties, but I've been pulling out my cabbages, and actually I brought 2 bushels of cabbages to our local market and I sold them. And that's my first time doing that. They had asked me last year if I had any vegetables to sell. And I was thinking that they mainly wanted, summer crops like tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. Well, I didn't even think about broccoli, radishes, cabbages, anything like that. And she had asked me, hey, do you have any radishes or cabbages, anything? So I said, well, I guess I messed up. I planted what I normally plant to put in the freezer for my family, and I totally forgot to offer you guys any spring vegetables. So I'm going to make an attempt this fall to give them some fall crops. Okay, this is a sneak peek into my daughter's room. Another thing we've been working on is fixing up. My oldest son had moved out, and so we transformed his old room into her new room. And I will show you guys later a little bit of the process and what it looks like, but we are very excited with the results. So I think that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon.